Hi, and welcome to episode 17 of the Muscle News and Merlin podcast with my buddy Eric Broser. How's it going, Eric?
It is going well here out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Weather is starting to sort of cool off a little bit, but not quite. It was still 103 yesterday.
Even
And but otherwise all is well.
yeah,
Busy watching yesterday at my gym at the Dragon's Lair. Rafa was there,
wow.
even though I don't think he's doing,
No,
I don't
he's
think
not.
that he's doing the Olympia, but he was back in town and he was training there, and there was a lot of interesting people there training. But I got to see Flex Wheeler. We had a nice conversation with Flex I could talk about later.
Cool.
So it was a nice day, but all is well here. How's everything in Malta?
Good, good. Hot and humid. I went to Madrid for from Thursday to Monday last week for the IFBB World Cup, the first edition of it. Might as well talk about it now. Um, Obviously, when I came back, the weather's different there. When opened the doors open of the plane in Malta, the humidity just hit me in the face like this. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. That's
like,
what happens with the humidity. Just bam.
man, unbelievable. But anyways, just to make a short note, it was a great show. They did it in like a old, I
Like
mean,
a bull ring kind
yeah,
of
they did
theme,
in a
right?
Coliseum, a bullfighting ring, but they it's refurbished and stuff. I don't think they use it anymore for that sport, but um, it was cool because even if you go in the stands to see the show, you have no cameraman in front of you because they're under you, and you have a perfect view of the competitors wherever you sit because it's like it's like this, and
Right, right, right.
I liked it. It was like bodybuilders going at it in a bull ring. You know what I mean? So
Kind of
it
a
was
nice
quite
and
cool.
cool theme.
I mean that contest originated because, not to be controversial, after being Rafael was organizing the most successful Arnold Classic after the original one, the Arnold Europe, for I think it was going to be the 15th edition this year. Obviously, something broke down between uh, I don't think Arnold, the other people that's took over the Lorminers,
Yeah, yeah.
and they decided to go their separate ways. It wasn't because Rafael didn't want to do it; it just didn't make sense anymore. So now he started this World Cup, and I mean, I'm part of their media team as well. I take care of their YouTube stuff, and so the first edition was good. So we're always already looking forward to next year. It's going to be bigger, and obviously until the athletes get used to this change, and it was great. There was athletes there was an American, there was like a lot of Mexicans, China, if I'm not mistaken, Italians, um, Finland, everywhere. They came from all over the world to
I know you were
compete.
sending me pictures of some of the guys. There's some
Yeah,
very
yeah. There was a
high
mass.
quality physiques there.
Yeah, there was a Masters guy. I'll show I mean, I can't show it now. There was a Masters guy that was like in his 85 or 86, um, which was quite impressive. Uh,
Did you say he was 85 or 86 years
yeah,
old?
something like that. Yeah,
Oh man, it's amazing.
yeah. He owns the gym. You're seeing this? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
see that.
obviously this is the fit model, and there's this guy. Wait, this is just highlights. Yeah, there's some highlights. These are the juniors. You know, and
Damn good for a junior.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's this guy's Classic Physique. He's Italian. He won the overall. No, it was really good. I mean, even that back screen with all the animation. Uh, these were the masters over 40. This guy, this competitor, Alex, he won the pro card. I mean, numerous times, even with the NPC before the split. Now he's in his 40s. He's a coach. So he still competes. Uh, no, it was really good. You know, uh,
Lots of
no, no,
beautiful
the
ladies
physique,
there.
like I said, they take care of, here's the guy that's in his 80s. Yeah,
That guy's in his eight. Look at that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look at that.
He's a multiple world champion, in back in the day, probably in
And
his
that is
past.
he's still
Yeah.
got muscle and he's abs
Yeah.
and
I don't know if there's his posing routine somewhere, but
that's amazing.
yeah, yeah, he's fun. He's doing an interview. Yeah.
Look at that,
Yeah,
80
yeah.
something years.
Unbelievable, you know.
That's amazing. It's funny because you have people who, are in their 80s and they're walking around like they
Yeah,
could
look at
barely
him
even walk.
joking
And this
around,
guy's
having
out
look
on
at
stage.
having
Look what he's
fun.
doing.
Yeah, if I did that, I would fall apart.
Look at him, and he's still. But the crazy thing is, his skin still looks good. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah. He probably trains
still
like twice
tight.
a day at his
That's
own place.
amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
God bless that guy.
yeah, yeah. It's men's physique. No, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah. So it looks like it was a nice show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good. It was good. It was fun. Everybody's
It's all outdoors, huh? It was an
all
outdoor show.
outdoors. The weather was incredible. Obviously, if it rains, there's a roof and stuff, but it was uh it was a great show. It was a great show. Some great physiques. All amateur. It was all amateur. There was no pro events.
But people won
Bodybuilding.
that. But people did win their pro card there.
Yes, yes, yes. They won their pro card with the IFBB there. And then there was the semi-pro, the bodybuilding semi-pro.
Now, what does that mean, semi-pro there in that?
So semi-pro, because I obviously I spoke to Rafael about it. Semi-pro is obviously there are a lot of bodybuilders that turn pro,
Right.
but you'll be 80 kilos or 70 kilos. You to compete in the open pro division, it's quite it's useless. You know what I
Going
mean?
against a guy who's
Can you
100
imagine
plus kilos.
an 80-kilo guy going up against Chrissy or somebody like that, just to put you in
Right.
the picture, right? So it doesn't. So what they did was they made a middle division for them, so they make it to the semi-pro. They'll get their pro card, but then they compete either pro or semi-pro. But the level will be, a bit more. They can compete at a higher level with guys at their level instead of just throwing you in the deep end, and you have a physique that is literally impossible to get to a, let's say, an Olympia physique. You know what I mean? There are some guys that touch reality. I mean, if you're at a certain weight, and some guys, they just don't want to go up that much. They prefer to stay amateur. So instead of amateur, always with amateur bodybuilders, they go up just another level, you
So
know?
is semi-pro though, will they win prize money?
It depends on the promoter, I think. It depends on the promoter. Some of them, they'll just be part of the amateur show, and then at the end, they'll be the bodybuilding. It's classic physique and bodybuilding, only those two. Bikini and the rest, it's either amateur or pro. But it's like a bikini athlete. If you turn pro, you can fall right into the pro division, and win. Because a women's physique is different when it comes to bikini or whatever, fit model or men's physique. But when it comes to bodybuilding, there's a gap. So instead of just losing these athletes, they invented that middle division. So
So it's almost like sort of almost like a 212 division for not I mean not saying it's exactly like it, but it's almost like the
yeah,
smaller
it's something
guys.
like that. It's something like that. It's something like that. Then if they are confident enough to go with the big boys, it's up to them. Let me see if there's some pictures on
So
the
it's like back in the days when like Lee Labrada at 185 pounds would be going up against Lee Haney.
Yeah, but Lila Brada was
He was a freak of nature.
so this is these were the semi-pros. Good physique. I mean, really, really good physiques. Some of the masters competed in the semi-pro as well. But they had some good physiques. There were some good physiques. You can tell. Um, you no, that was the same video we saw before. Obviously, here's they're promoting David here, the
Oh well,
monster.
at the freak.
So this guy was like, semi-pro. All right, he
Right. So yeah,
turned.
it's kind of like if a guy
Yeah,
wins his pro card at the Nationals as a lightweight, he's not going to be able
yeah,
to go to the Olympia.
yeah, yeah. So they bump you up into a harder division. You know what I
All
mean?
right, so it's like another level.
Yeah, yeah. It's a hard. So they call it the semi-pro.
Okay.
So
I was curious about that because I
no,
didn't
no,
understand.
it's obviously this is on their pro site, so they have both the semi-pro and you know, so
All right. Well, did you have a good time there? Did you enjoy yourself?
yeah, it was great. I love Spain. I really love Spain. I mean, usually they host the World Championships, the original World IFBB World Championships. That's I think it's like close to the 70th edition or whatever. Um, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia this year. So I was hoping to go to that, but it's, for 4 days to go to Saudi Arabia is a bit of it's in November, between November and December. So we'll see. There's a ton of shows. You can't go every weekend, but obviously you have to get back to
How
reality.
far is how far of a flight is it from Malta to Spain?
No, no, 2.5 hours. That's why I
Oh, it's
love
pretty
going there.
short.
No, no, I
Yeah.
love going there. I love it.
Yeah.
The
It's like
weather is
me. It's
lovely.
like yeah, it's like New York to Florida. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
speaking of New York, they made a direct flight from Malta to New York this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just launched it one
Well,
way.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you
So,
want to go to New York, but anyway.
well, I have my aunt there, so Um, so we're gonna talk about Earth, or you want to start somebody else?
No, let's talk about Urs because he's dominating
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
news these days.
Yeah, he's doing things that nobody thought he would do, not nobody thought he would do. He shocked everybody.
I don't think that many people knew that he had gone open and that he was going to compete. Like I think that it just came as a surprise to most people. It wasn't really heavily
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah, they didn't think that he was gonna go, and do such. They didn't think that he was gonna impress like that and win.
I wouldn't have known that, but when you see him, he certainly.
Yeah.
We'll talk
So
about that a little bit later because I know somebody had asked us a question about that, but
yeah, yeah.
he's made some crazy improvements. Now
Yeah.
this is the
Euro.
second show in Germany, yes?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, because he had
obviously,
tightened up a lot for this show.
yeah, yeah.
That picture right there shows why he's dangerous because
Of
if you
course.
just look at his physique from head to toe, there's just a lot of beautiful lines there and
And
full
and
muscle bellies.
yeah, and it's like his weakness, his arms, when he gets bigger, they're not so weak anymore.
Yeah, and his leg, he's got such, I mean, his legs just have such beautiful shape to them. The sweep,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
teardrop, the inner thigh.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the kid's growing, and he's still very young. He's still not even at his peak yet.
Oh, he's not even close. He's got another 10 years to peak.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at that.
I mean, his arms need to be a little bit bigger, but I don't even want to criticize him because
No, 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 no.
he's so young and
Yeah,
and his potential is there. He's going to get so much better.
yeah. I mean, he knows how to compete as a classic bodybuilder, and he's mixing that up with, open, and he's literally making guys, veterans look bad, you know? So,
And it's amazing because he did get some criticism in the first show that he won um, about certain body like his back was not hard enough and
yeah, yeah,
whatever. And he actually came into the Germany show in better condition,
yeah, yeah, he's still improving.
which made me feel bad for second place Quinton
Yeah, I agree
because
with you.
I
Yeah,
really wanted Quinton to get into the Olympian, and I still hope. There's
yeah,
been a few people aside from myself who said they should give him a special invite for so
yeah,
many second
Dave.
places.
Yeah, Dave Palumbo said they should give him a special invite.
I think that he deserves a second. He deserves an invite because he kind of earned his way. I mean,
Yeah,
with all those second, because like you said once, you and I were discussing it. If the point system was in this year, he'd certainly make it.
yeah, of course,
Easily made the point
he
system.
would have been guaranteed, his place. He could tighten up. He needs to tighten up his back, if he wants to.
He needs a little more lat width, and he needs a
Yeah,
little bit more,
yeah.
hardness in the lower back. It's still a little bit soft
It
back
could
there.
it could be. I think Stefan's his coach. Yeah, I think what's that guy, Stefan? The guy
Yeah,
that has like 20 bodybuilders under his. I think maybe he's holding him back a bit, just before the Olympia. Maybe he's still not, all out yet with the diet. Could be, you know. Is that,
I'll tell you though, when you put him up against Quinton, it is not. If you could really flip a coin. Like I think if Quinton won,
oh no,
nobody would complain.
he wouldn't have said nothing anyways.
Nobody would complain
No
because
one.
Quinton is that good.
Yeah,
And I think when he turns around to the back, he's actually better.
yeah, yeah. You can tell that there's that thickness still, look. You know, you can tell.
There's more, a little more detail and a
Yeah,
little bit more knots going on back there.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, Quentin to me has incredible potential to be a top six Olympian because of
Even,
his
you know, the
frame.
lat spread. Look, he's just it could
He
have went
beat
both
he
ways.
he beats Urs in those ones. It could have gone either way. Like that was how close it was. It was not a definitive.
No, no,
Neither, not even the week before, it wasn't a
no,
definitive
no,
victory.
no. I think it's just a 1 point thing. You know. So
But I really hope that Quentin gets some sort of special invite because he deserves it.
yeah,
But yeah, Urs. One thing that that Urs definitely brings to the open division is he brings performance
yeah,
and
yeah,
posing,
yeah,
which is something that division, we have talked about it numerous times,
yeah, yeah,
needs a lot more of.
yeah. So
And
this
look
is
at
Quentin.
Quentin's
Yeah,
quads, the separations. Look at
yeah,
the vastus intermedialis and the rectus femoris in the center. Those bands of muscle.
yeah,
And Quentin's somebody who's still growing too. He's still, when he puts on another 15 pounds of muscle, if he keeps his waist like that, I
yeah.
mean, wow, he's definitely got that, he's got the physique that's along the lines of like the Sean Roden, the Flex
Yeah,
Wheeler,
yeah, yeah.
those
I
V-shaped physiques.
He just has to, he'll get there. He'll get there, you know?
He's certainly, but he definitely does. I, I, I hope that they give him, that they say, okay, Quentin, come to the Olympia because he
Yeah.
certainly will look good on that stage.
No, no, I
Look at the size of his calves.
yeah, he's a big boy, huh?
He's got some cows down there. I never even
Yeah,
realized that.
yeah, yeah,
Wow, the inner head of the inner head of the cat, the gastrocnemius.
yeah.
Wow, that thing is big. Oh
No, he's a
man,
big,
it's as big as his thigh.
yeah, I listen, he could have won easily, huh? So,
Yeah,
and Ayers was at home, so
that's
everything,
tough. That's
I'm
tough.
not saying that they picked him good, but, it is what it is,
It's tough to get beaten on the home turf when it's close.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. That we'll talk about him
But
later.
the guy who placed third, do you have
Yeah,
him?
that was
Because
I was gonna
he
talk
really impressed me.
yeah, I was gonna talk about him as my what do you call it?
Like
David
Netflix
sitting in
sitting
front
on
of Netflix, flipping through his mobile. Yeah,
Well, let's just show him now because he was at that
yeah.
show.
Let's
He
show him now.
placed third.
Let me just double check with the no, you're saying Eduardo Cargo, right? That guy
I,
came third.
he got third. Yes, him. He really impressed me.
Let me see. One sec. One sec.
I don't know a lot of these
No,
guys
I picked somebody else for that. Let me say.
Okay, well, you'll do that one later, but this
Yeah,
guy,
let me find
I think, looked
Eduardo.
fantastic.
Eduardo. Yeah, let me find Eduardo.
Didn't he jump ahead of the guy who placed third the week before?
Did Mark Hector place third the week before?
I think so.
Yeah, and Eduardo, uh, you know,
Displaced him and moved him to fourth.
yeah. Let me
I
just.
don't really know this guy, but when I looked at his pictures, I was highly impressed with his
Yeah,
physique.
yeah,
Thickness, good shape, good condition. See if you
yeah.
can find.
This guy's a monster. Let me get into his Instagram. Okay, here it is. Sorry, guys, I don't have somebody in the front finding stuff for us like
I know
other.
we don't quite have our
I can't say like,
producer.
Bob Chick, get me this picture up.
Yeah, as soon as we're as big as Rogan, we'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get Charlie Sheen to open up stuff for us.
There you go. Charlie Sheen, perfect.
Yeah, here he is. Look at that.
Yeah, look at him. He's got an
Yeah,
impressive physique.
yeah, yeah,
Big thighs, big chest, big arms,
yeah. Look at that.
big back. Kind of
Monster.
reminds me a little bit of Nathan Diasha.
Yeah,
But look at that. Look at that. That is a dangerous physique right there.
yeah. Kai Green is saying, is it me or does this guy's physique remind you of Phil Heath? He's a bit more, let's say his physique is a bit more rough, a bit more,
Yeah, no, Phil Heath has a very
yeah.
special physique.
But
But
he has that 3D effect, huh? Like Phil Heath, you
this
know?
guy is very good. I mean, his
Yeah,
conditioning is great and he's thick everywhere. There's no real weaknesses on his body.
yeah.
He's definitely somebody to watch out for because I didn't have a clue who he was. And then I
Oh,
was
even
like, who
me.
is
There's
this
so
guy?
many bodybuilders today. And that's what's good about these European shows, You get these guys just going to them that we don't know about. So no, he has a great physique.
He's
Fantastic.
very, very impressive. He's definitely somebody to watch out for in the future. He's
Yeah.
going to win some titles.
No, no, I hope so. I hope he keeps on, moving on.
Where is he from? Do you know where he's from? What does it say?
Dubai.
Dubai? He's from
Yeah,
Dubai.
there you
So many
go.
amazing bodybuilders over there.
Of course, a lot of guys are,
And people move there too to just live there and train.
yeah, they have amazing gyms, so,
Right. Amazing.
and a
Gyms,
lot
gyms,
of,
gyms that are like you don't even have to leave. You could like live there and eat all your
yeah,
food there. And
yeah, and they see them as huge stars, so they probably just love it, so, um,
very
um,
impressive, very impressive. But
yeah,
I'm wishing Urs
yeah,
luck at the Olympia. Personally, my opinion is he's not ready for top six. I think he's going to get second call out and be somewhere in the 7 to 10 range.
yeah,
But
saying,
if he gets,
yeah,
which I think that if he even to get 7 to 10 in a lineup as packed as the
first
Olympia, it's
Olympia would be great.
amazing. It's amazing.
Listen, today I saw a snippet of Sean Ray on Jay Cutler's show, and Sean actually said if it was his advice would be that Earth skips this Olympia and
Disagree.
builds a bit more muscle and wins the New York Pro and goes into the 2000 and the 2026 Olympia. But listen, as we
Disagree.
always said, God forbid anything happens and he misses that opportunity to get on the Olympia stage, he'll regret it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why
something
Sean's saying that,
I don't understand. I mean, I understand what point he's trying to bring about, like why
Yes.
not come back when you're better?
Yeah,
But
but come on.
he's saying, oh, he'll only place around eighth.
Yeah.
Excuse me, eighth place, if that's where he places,
Yeah,
is fantastic.
of
To
course.
be in the top 10 at this
Yeah,
packed Olympia, because
yeah.
the guys, we already kind of know probably who the
Top
top
four.
six will be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We know it's going to be the Andrew Jack, and it's going to be
yeah,
the Martin
yeah,
Fitzwater and the Hadi Chupin and
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Derek
Brandon. Yeah,
and
Brandon there.
I
Yeah.
mean it's packed.
Nick Walker,
So just to
Rubil.
get from 7 to 10,
Yeah,
that's going to be packed too. That's
yeah,
almost like a second Olympia fight.
yeah.
So if he's in that fight,
I
God
would.
bless him, man. I
Yeah. I
mean,
mean, Jay Cutler regrets that year he took off.
yeah,
Many
I-
people regret. Listen, your goal every year is to build muscle, and you have to work with the physique you have there and then today. So you have Urs winning two pro shows, his debut and his second one. Okay. Um, all right, he wasn't in a lineup with the big guys,
the
the
best, the
outfits.
best.
Yeah,
No,
so what? So what? He won. He won. He was the best guy on the day. And mentally, he's really excited for the Olympia. Even just here, I would. Why? So people are criticizing getting at Nick because last year he didn't go in because he wasn't ready mentally or whatever happened to him. Not the year before we got injured. Last year he pulled out because I don't know why. They criticize him for that, or even when he pulled his when he what
he
did he
hurt
pull
the
his
hamstring.
hamstring?
He tore like a
Yeah,
hand, tore his hamstring.
Milos told him you should have stepped on stage injured, and Nick said, "But I couldn't walk." He said, "You should have still went on stage." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I disagree with that too.
No, I know, but that's how much Milo sees it as to get on that stage.
Right. He's saying, yeah, just get on
Yeah,
stage. No,
yeah.
I understand
So,
that
so,
too. But
so Urs is, knock on wood, he's in perfect shape. Get on stage, go
he's
enjoy
first
it.
of all, he's already there. He just
Yeah,
has to maintain what he has, or actually, he can even get even better. He can get even
yeah,
tighter. He's been on the Olympia stage for the last several years at Classic, so he knows
yeah.
what it's like to be there. And listen, this is also bodybuilding can be a
Business.
short-lived
Yeah,
career for
yeah,
a
and
lot of
it's
people. Take advantage of it. Get
yeah,
back on the stage again. Plus, this is
yeah,
good for his name, for his
yeah.
business, for his
And we're
income.
and we're forgetting it's business. His sponsors. You think
That's what
his
I'm saying.
sponsors? You think his sponsors going to tell him not to go? It's
No,
probably
they're going
going
to
to be
tell
the
him get on that stage.
Yeah, it's probably I forget which his sponsor is probably going to be the first time for him. Them being represented on stage. Like look what it did with Hostile, with Fuad, with Samson winning. You know, I mean, come on. And he probably has perks in his contract. If he places in a top 10, they'll probably, you know, give him a bonus or something. So it
Listen,
doesn't make
it's
sense.
very if Quentin, let's just say Quentin would have won one of those two shows
Yeah,
against Urs,
yeah,
would Sean Ray tell Quentin, no, go back to the drawing board and come back in
yeah,
26? Probably not. He's
yeah,
probably just saying that to Urs because Urs is brand new to the
yeah,
open class.
yeah,
But to me, I wouldn't say that to somebody unless they really completely weren't ready for the Olympia. Like that level was just too high. But
Yeah.
it's not too high for Urs.
No, no,
He's gonna do well there. He's gonna look good there.
even if he doesn't, so what?
As long as he comes in shape, which he will,
And he enjoys it.
he's gonna look great. And he's
And
got that kind of attitude where
yeah,
he's gonna have fun on stage.
and I
And they
bet,
want him on that stage
yeah,
because he's a performer
yeah.
and he's going to bring something back to the sport that the open class desperately needs: quality posing and
Yeah.
presentation.
Listen, he's gonna walk away with the fan favorite belt, the People's Choice Award.
He might. And like I said yesterday, I was telling you, I was actually in the gym. I saw Flex Wheeler, who hasn't been there for a while. Saw him yesterday, gave him a big hug, and we ended up talking about Urs. And one of the things he said to me, he said, straight out, he goes, I'm so glad to see Urs in the open class because the open class desperately needs that performance again.
That's
And I
it.
hope
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
starts this trend towards better posing because when
Exactly.
he comes on there, he's just magnetic and his
Yeah.
posing is so high quality and he puts on such a show
Yeah.
that hopefully that'll start to be not necessarily a judging round again, but
No, no,
like
but
still considered in the
yeah.
overall package.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's bringing back a bit of the 80s, 90s, with today's look of a physique. So, Urs played it well, and he did look like he was suffering in the classic physique. He looked
Probably
small,
was.
and then
Probably was.
I don't know, once he did a video, I forget whose house he went to, and he was training off season. I don't know if he was with C-Bum. And when you see him off season, it's like, God, he looks really big. He's
I know.
different.
I've seen him off season in the Dragon's Lair,
Yeah,
and I look at him and I'm like, geez, Louise, he's big. I feel the same way about Ramon.
yeah,
Ramon who plays.
yeah.
He looks huge in the off season when I see him.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
Like, I think he's going to be next. I
yeah,
bet you that Ramon makes the switch
yeah,
to open
yeah,
because
yeah,
these guys are definitely sucking weight down that they
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to get down to the weight they need to.
Trying to remove muscle that they built off season. So,
Which, yeah, I mean, and they don't want, who wants to do that? Who wants to work that hard in the off season to get
yeah,
bigger
yeah,
and then
yeah,
lose it?
yeah. So, you
Good
know,
move for Urs. Good
Yeah,
move.
and speaking of the Olympia, I forgot to mention to you before we started the show. Um, I want to just hit on your picks, my picks, like our picks, and who are gonna be like fan favorite. You know what I mean? There's like a different like for me, obviously, I think it's the top four. I don't know who's gonna win, but it's Samson, Hardy, Derek, and the fourth
Nick,
guy. Sorry.
Martin,
And Martin
Andrew
and
Jack.
Nick, they're roaming around. But then the ones I'm really like pushing, my fan favorites is Brandon. I really want him to see him do
Who
well.
easily could, what was he, fourth last year?
Yeah,
Still a top five
yeah.
threat.
I really want to see Brandon do well, because
I
the
would love to
guy,
see him stay there.
he trains in silence. He's such a cool guy, humble, and a great, representation of bodybuilding in general. And obviously, I like Urs. I want to see Urs do well. I want to see everybody do well, but everybody has a favorite. So I want to see Urs, move forward. So
Mhm.
who do you have other than the top four that we know?
Well, I mean,
Ah, plus Reagan. I forgot to mention Reagan. Yeah,
yeah,
Canadian.
listen,
Yeah,
certain people I know personally, like in Oregon, and he's such a great guy, and he's got such a beautiful physique.
yeah,
I'd love for him to shut some people up who
yeah,
constantly criticize him,
yeah,
and see him, be called in the first call out.
yeah,
Um, Urs is, I think he's got, I think he's got a really beautiful physique, and I love his performance. So I want him to do well. I've always been, a Hadi Chupin fan. I think that he's in terms of just pure bodybuilding, he's an absolute animal in the gym. I think he will train until he's dead to make gains, and I think he's built one of the most packed physiques of muscle with conditioning that we've ever seen or seen in a long time. I always root for him to do well.
yeah.
Samson Dauda, is a tremendous athlete. He's a great Mr. Olympia.
Of course.
There's still some there's still some weaknesses in his physique
No,
that
the
I see
door's
when he turns to
open.
the back.
Yeah, the door's
But I
open.
did,
Yeah.
but I did see him
Yes,
like
pause.
6 weeks out,
Yeah, yeah,
and he already looked harder than he did last year. So I
yeah,
think he's bringing the condition this year. But he's got a beautiful physique, sort of like
yeah,
along the lines of like a Cedric McMillan type of physique, you know.
yeah,
So, you know, and he seems to be a really, really great guy. So, you know, I think he'll do
yeah,
well. Always root for Derek. Derek is a, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
he's a really nice guy.
yeah,
You know, fantastic physique. You know, one of the best back double biceps and back lat spreads in history, one of the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
I like Martin Fitzwater a lot too.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he's got, you know, I don't know. I have to see what he's going to do this year because sometimes I worry. He had such a beautiful physique. I worry that he tries to put on too much size and then I
yeah,
want him to
yeah,
destroy his lines.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, but I think he's a great bodybuilder. Andrew Jack, I've always been a fan of
There's
his.
Andrew Jacked as well.
I
Yeah,
mean, I knew Andrew before he turned pro. He was training at the Dragon's Lair. I had a lot of conversations with him, you know, with me, great, humble guy, sweet guy,
yeah,
always very, always very great to talk to. But, you know, if anybody could stand on the stage next to a Samson Dowda, it's him because of his
yeah,
size and his
yeah,
width.
yeah,
He's got that small waist. Nick Walker, I root for him to do well too
yeah,
because
yeah,
Nick is a beast. He trains very, very hard and with a lot of,
yeah,
if you watch him train, he trains with precision. He trains, everything is done with like perfect form, even though he's using tremendous weights. You could see the focus in him. He's a very, very hard worker. He believes in himself. And, you know, I'd like to see him do well. Love Brandon Curry. Always love Brandon Curry's
yeah,
physique.
yeah.
I personally think he deserved two Olympias, but I'm so impressed with the fact that people don't even talk about him, and yet he keeps
No,
popping in the top five,
yeah,
top
yeah.
five, top five.
Listen, Andrew Jack might come in and shock everybody. We haven't seen him anywhere, you
Well,
know?
but that's the point. Like, I don't have any prediction. Like, if I was going to make a prediction, it's just a guess because all of these guys are so good and so different. It really just depends, no matter how many Instagram photos you see or videos, this and
No,
that,
yeah,
none of it means anything. It's the
nothing.
day of the show in front
Yeah,
of the judges,
yeah,
what they look like. And that could be, you know, we've seen guys who look amazing 3 weeks out, and then you go, what the hell happened to them?
yeah, yeah,
See people who weren't that great, and then you go, holy shit, well, they really turned it around 3 weeks.
yeah,
I just want to see that. I just want to see that everybody brings their best,
yeah.
and then I feel bad to be a judge. I mean, I feel bad
No,
for the judges
it's gonna
because
be, it's gonna be a
it's
hard
going to
show.
be very, it's not just the top three or four, it's the top 10 that's
Yeah,
going to be tough.
yeah,
And this is such a packed lineup.
yeah.
And there could be some other physiques in there that I'm like
Of course.
Akeem Williams, I think,
Yeah,
and
Hakeem.
William Bonac. I
Yeah,
mean, you never know. You
you never
never
know.
know what
Yeah,
some of these guys can bring
and
and beat
yeah,
a guy who's a little bit off. So I just think it's going to be an amazing Olympia,
and
and may,
obviously,
may the best man win.
yeah, and obviously the 2-1-2, Keon.
I would bet my house on Keon. I wouldn't
Yeah,
even blink.
yeah,
Keon, no one is beating Keon
yeah,
at 212.
and the classic physique. Hey, we're gonna have a new winner. Could be
That's
Mike.
gonna be. I just yesterday. What's his name? Mike was in the gym.
Wow, big boy, huh?
Mike was huge.
Huge.
I saw him yesterday in my gym.
Will he make
As soon
weight?
as I walked in, I knew who it was because he wears black socks
Those
that go up to
socks.
his
Yeah,
knees.
yeah,
And so I was like, "Oh, Mike's here." And I saw him. He was just walking around the gym. I think he may have come in for a massage because I didn't see him train. But he didn't look like a two like a
classic.
classic guy.
Will he make
He
weight?
looked
'Cause I can't understand. He's huge.
he looked like a big like he looked like he'd be going against Keon in the 212. Like he looks at least as big as Urs.
I know.
And so he looks massive. So I don't he's obviously he's gonna figure out how to make weight, but it's gotta be suffering. He's got to be suffering to make it. But
Neil is
um
his coach, right? Neil. Yeah,
yeah, he could be. I'm not sure.
he
But
is his
between
coach.
him and Ramon and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
there's a lot of great guys. I mean,
yeah.
so
It's gonna be
that could
interesting.
be
And
everybody's
obviously,
probably thinking that Mike is gonna do it, and
yeah,
he probably will. He's the favorite because he was second last year.
yeah.
But you don't know. You don't know what could
You don't
happen.
know. And Nurse is
This
not
is
there
classic
anymore.
is,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then I think and Breon has stayed in classic this year, I think.
yeah. He stayed in
So
again.
Breon's always dangerous too,
Yeah,
even
he
though
is.
he's in his
But
40s, he's always
I mean,
dangerous.
I like Brion, but Mike is just when you put them next to each other.
he's just a beast.
Yeah,
That's why they call him the Beast. I
yeah.
mean,
He's
he's going to be very rough to out. I think the person who would have the best chance to stand up to him muscle wise would be with Ramon if he stays. But a lot of times he loses size in the
yeah,
last
yeah.
week or two.
Yeah,
But we'll see. It's going to be such a great show.
here he is. Look at that. That's not real, man.
That's
Unbelievable.
exactly who was in the gym yesterday. Mike
Yeah.
and Austin.
Yeah, Austin was with him.
Austin was in the gym too. Yeah,
Yeah. No, he's huge. Huge, big
he's
boy.
just thick. He's just thick,
Yeah.
and he's just got this short torso, and it's just like.
Yeah. He's a big boy. There he
Yeah,
is.
there's Neil. So there's Neil's his
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
Neil also trains at
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair when he's
No,
in town.
Neil's another beast. I mean,
But yeah, Mike is a badass. He's going to be tough to defeat.
yeah.
And the thing about Mike is that
Yeah.
he always has those two big black socks.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
A lot of
As
guys
soon as
do
I
that.
saw that, I'm like, oh, look who's here.
Yeah.
But the thing about Mike that's so cool for him is that he doesn't have to stop at Classic. He can move
No,
up to 212.
he
He can
can
move
keep
up to
moving.
open. So his career
Yeah.
is going to be long.
No, fantastic physique, thickness.
Look at that. He's got that short torso with
Yeah.
those lats that go right to his waist.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, looking at this, you can tell he even beats Urs at the back. So
He's got a better back than ours.
yeah, thickness. So anyways, good luck to him. I hope he does well.
It's going to be a great Olympia. I don't want to maybe when we get a little closer to the show, we'll make predictions just for the fun of it.
No,
But
I just wanted to,
right now,
because people are still going on with the Bob getting fired and the blah 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 blah.
yeah, there's more to talk about, but
Yeah,
everybody is
yeah. I
it's
was
going to
having
be if everybody comes in shape, I don't want to be a judge.
yeah. Um, I don't know if you know that I was having fun with my Instagram while I was waiting at the airport. I was laughing alone. I know at breakfast first before I left. I don't know. I just Bob was going Mr. Potato Head and all this stuff because of that other podcast. He was calling him Mr. Potato Head, the guy that did the survey about him.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Potato.
yeah. So I put up that I made a montage with Bob. I don't know if you saw it.
I don't
Bob
think I did.
in um he's holding his head. He's holding Mr. Potato Head. Let me
Oh,
just show you.
God. That sounds
Then
like
I get
something
a
you do.
message. He said, "Hey man, I'm dying laughing. Look at that."
Oh my God, that is.
And then I did another one. Um, Bob Chakra is so old, he still drinks Olympia beer. Oh God. Uh, and then I just wrote what I thought about. I was getting a bit. I don't think that he should change. So you can't take out what something's good. You can't take him out. So
No, he's not going anywhere.
yeah,
He's going to be the MC. I mean, come on.
yeah.
So,
Anyways, I wanted to touch on something else regarding
Ronny Rockel.
our friend Ronny Rockel. Now,
Ronny Rockel, let me just say, Ronny Rockel was a bodybuilder.
yeah,
He is still a bodybuilder, but he was a bodybuilder that
let me
had
put
a
up a
very,
picture.
very impressive physique in the
This is
IFBB.
in his heyday.
He had a fantastic, well-balanced
Look at that.
physique
Look at that.
with full development everywhere, and he
Yeah,
was able to beat a lot of heavy
yeah.
hitters.
Look at that. This is, I think, I don't know if this was 2-on-2 or open. I can't remember.
Well, that guy on the left looks like he's bigger than
Yeah,
two
yeah,
on
yeah,
two. He looks
yeah.
big.
This is, in his heyday still. Obviously,
Fantastic physique, just a
yeah.
fantastic physique.
Now, before I show, this is Ronnie's,
Competitive
history.
record.
Obviously, he started in 1996 with Naba, and then between 2001 and 2003, he got his pro card. And from then all the way to 2016, he competed 73 times and
73.
yeah, and I think 9 Olympias or 10 Open and one or two 2-1-2 division, or 202, whatever it was back then.
Yeah, if you
And
look at his record, he's got a lot of thirds,
yeah,
seconds,
first, look, when
first.
when you see him at Grand Prix Hungary, fourth, who placed in front of him? All right, Artwood. All right, this was a bit way back. So if you go to Grand Prix Australia, 2005, he placed third. Lee Priest, Chris Cormier, Ronnie Rockel. All right, so look who placed in front of him. In Australia, 2006, he wins. He
He
beats Lee
beat Lee
Priest.
Priest, Vince Taylor,
Yeah, Mustafa, Branch
Branch
Warren, he
Warren.
boxes. This guy is he's a beast. In 2007, he placed second to Dexter, so he's
Oh, you
placing
knocked Vince
second and
Taylor to
third
third.
to,
Wow.
to huge guys. Here again, he places second to Dexter in
That's what I'm saying. He
2008.
had a
Yeah.
very dangerous
Yeah.
physique.
So this is 2008 when, Dexter was Mr. Olympia. He won the Olympia. Obviously, the Olympia
Well,
he placed
he was up to sixth at the Olympia
sixth.
in
Yeah, yeah,
2010.
yeah. New York, he placed second. Behind who? Kai Green. Come on.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
that's
He
amazing.
beat
So
Lionel Bayeki too.
yeah. So listen, he's been around.
He's got a
Then,
great
yeah.
competitive record.
I don't know in 2000 if 2017 was his last year competing, regularly with the IFBB Pro on the side of Jim Mannion. So he wanted to compete at the Masters Olympia this year.
The 2025 that just passed.
Yeah, that just passed. Unfortunately, I mean, he's a, he if this is an argument I brought up once many times. If the pro league paid their athletes, all right, or have them under contract like we either did, you would have a say in what they do or where they go, right? So Ronnie obviously was an established pro. He went on the Olympia stage. He made a name for himself, 73 events, or more. He competed with another division in Germany, the NAC. Competed once, I think, and did a guest posing routine. So when he went to apply to compete at the Masters, they refused him, and they told him not only that you have to you have to. I don't know if he paid his membership, whatever. Um, he has to compete as an amateur again. And this weekend at the Europa, he placed fifth. He didn't get his pro card. Can you believe that? So I would expect, all right, I'm not telling them how to run things. I would expect a guy like that, slap him with a $1,000, $2,000 fine, and tell him, listen, that's your fine. If you want to pay it, get back, you'll get your pro status back. All right. Don't do that again or whatever, and you can compete at the Masters Olympia. Now, saying that, this is him now, you know. Listen, I don't expect him to have the physique he had before. All right. We're talking Masters here. So, um, if you get any pro today, if you get some pros and tell them to compete with at the nationals again, they probably won't win. you know. So it's like I believe that it was better that they slapped him with a fine. He doesn't have to go through all this stress on his body, you know, and at that age, because who knows what he's doing to try to get back in shape to win his pro card to compete at the 2027 Masters. He'll be like 53 or 54 then. You know what I mean? So I believe that uh, they should just find another way. I'm not saying a pro that competed once and disappeared for 10 years and he says I want to compete at the Masters. That's a different story. Now, not everybody's in the same, this guy, he did what he had to do with the pro league. He's a legend. He's won shows. He placed in the top 10 at the Olympia. He's beat the best bodybuilders in the world. And then, he didn't renew his membership for 1 or 2 years or whatever. And he decided to compete at a federation in his home country, and he probably got paid for it. He made some money. And then, going back and not letting you compete and telling that you have to go down to an amateur one, I think that's a bit, depressing. When you see all that, I'm not saying that they're going to listen to this and say, "Oh, we're sorry, Ronnie, here's your pro card." But they gave Lee Priest his pro card back after years and years calling them out, and he's still calling them out. You know, and I mean, I don't see Lee Priest competing anytime soon with the pro league, but they gave him his pro card back. So this guy competes 73 times. You never hear anything from him. He just went, competed, won, placed second, went home, and then he has to go through all the. I feel sorry for the guy. That's why, I don't see it fair that just slap him with a fine. I bet you he'd probably happy to pay 5 grand and get his pro card back. you know.
Mhm.
Um, just not to go through all that stuff again. You know what I mean? Certain things, I think there's ways to go around it, you know. Um, they bend, they put people in the Olympia just because they couldn't qualify because of the pandemic, or you know they had to do, obviously their duty, like Cedric with the army and stuff. But this guy, he only went competed once at another federation. Come on. It wasn't going to do any harm to the pro league. I'm not saying this is Samson going to compete with, Naba. I'm this guy was literally at the end of his career or finished. He just wants to compete. Probably the last time at the Masters. That's all he wants. And he did compete at the Masters once, in more than once, I think. He competed in 2012 he placed fifth when Dexter won.
Oh,
Dexter,
back when they
Tony,
had the Masters before they stopped, and then
yeah, Dexter, Tony Freeman, Dennis James, Edward Nunn, and Ronnie. You know, so I just I wish that they could have arranged it. I mean the
well,
guy's in.
yeah, I mean, I definitely can see your point on that. I mean, he had a very long career in the IFBB.
Yeah.
He was 73 shows, so
From what I counted, there's probably maybe in 18 he probably competed as well. I don't know. It's up to
yeah, maybe, but at
2017.
least 70 plus shows. But
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
top 10 in Mr. Olympia placer, a guy who's been,
yeah.
beaten some of the best and top. And
And
yeah, I mean, I know that he, I guess he competed in another federation, but I would say that, I would agree with you that I would think that making him re-earn a pro card is a little bit
no,
too much of a high standard. I think that, like you said, maybe paying some kind of a fine,
yeah, yeah,
even if they wanted some type of apology
yeah,
or
yeah,
some type of something from I think that they could have probably go another route with him because yeah, you're definitely right. He's at the end of his career, probably only wants to do the
yeah,
the big, the IFBB Masters,
yeah.
Mr. Olympia one more
That's right.
time. So I think
That's right.
that it
And
would have been nice if they let him do that.
he's
So
such a good guy. He just bowed his head, and he's going to do another qualification because I spoke to him today. He's going to do another qualification. He's going to try
so
again.
he's still going to try even with the
He's
rules they've set for him.
he's going to try still. He's putting his head down and he's going to try. You know,
Well, he loves it. He loves it, and
you know.
and he hasn't really even complained about it, right? He
No,
just
no,
does.
no. He just said, he, he wishes it went a different route to do it. But like,
Yeah, I could
but
definitely see your
like I
point.
said, I mean, if it was in the back then, of the days of the Weeders, where they had the athletes tied down with financial
Well, then you
remuneration,
have them. There's
that's
certain
different.
rules that you have to
That's
follow.
different. You can't, if you're working for me, you're paid by me. You can't go and compete, with another guy, just like they had the magazine contracts. You can't go and do an interview with Flex if you're with this guy or whatever. So I don't think Mannion has anybody tied down, so they're all self-employed guys, so I'm not saying that everybody should go and compete everywhere. They probably won't.
No, you should
They
still
won't.
stick to the federation that
Yeah.
pays you
But
that
this guy's,
you
like I said, he's
make
in his,
money in.
come on,
He competed in one show in an organization probably
he
nobody
probably
knows unless
competed
you're in
once or
Germany.
twice in guest pose, and that was it,
And
So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to see the IFBB kind of reconsider that and say,
yeah,
all right, Ronnie, pay
yeah,
us 3 grand, whatever it is,
yeah.
pay your fine, say you're sorry, and you can go back on
I
the Olympia
mean,
stage.
if we go back to Phil, after all that banter and calling them out, there was no press release that he lost his pro card. So you know what I mean? It's like you have to be careful how you do things. You know what I mean? So you have a ton of people calling them out, and nobody does nothing to them. And you have this poor guy. He went and competed at a federation probably his friend runs in Germany. And he gets relegated to amateur again. So
Yeah, no, he still deserves to be an
one more show,
IFBB
one
Pro
more show.
League pro,
Yeah,
and especially to do one more show. And
yeah, of
listen, he wants to. It's a good thing to have Ronnie Rockel on
course.
because quite honestly, I don't really know most of the people who compete in the Masters Olympia,
Yeah,
but I would certainly know Ronnie Rockel
yeah,
immediately. So I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
he's a name. He's a name.
his body, is showing signs of,
Well, he's not what he used to be for sure.
you know,
And I don't think he even would have been a threat to win,
no, no,
but
but
he
he
belonged
wanted to
up there.
go. he
He
wanted to
belongs
go
up
to
there.
Japan and compete. That's it.
Yeah, he belongs up there.
So
So maybe they'll reconsider. Maybe they'll reconsider. And
yeah, yeah. That I just wanted to get that off my chest because I didn't know if I should do my own podcast on it or, I do it
I
with
don't know if it needs a whole podcast, but I
No,
think
no,
you
I,
just
I just was gonna,
just to bring up the
vent.
point, and
Yeah. I was
it's
just
all
gonna,
good. I mean,
yeah,
we just love bodybuilding, and we want to see everybody treated fairly. And
yeah. There was another guy I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Mark Hector. That's my Netflix guy sitting on the sofa watching. He was
sitting
at
on
the
the
Europa
sofa.
as well. This guy has another fantastic physique.
This and now he was the one who placed third
Yeah, he
in
plays
Urs,
fourth now. Yeah, yeah,
and then he placed fourth in the
yeah. Look at
German
that.
show.
Look at that.
Yeah, he definitely has a fantastic physique.
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have the size of the other guys we saw, but he's
He's got shape and he's got conditioning.
yeah, he has shape and condition. I don't know. Now this is just like thickness,
Good thick
So
lats.
he's the guy has a physique. I was impressed when I saw him, those big arms. Um,
Yeah,
listen, there's a
he
couple of monsters out there. There's a lot of guys to pick from, I mean,
a lot of these guys, we don't know.
that's
Um,
the thing, there's so many bodybuilders, so
that's what
many.
I'm saying. The guy who placed third that I wanted to show him at the German show, and this guy's equally as impressive.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, these are people with a lot of potential to do some damage.
yeah. I mean, I want to say, the Rep One, they're a German photographers and video guys. They take some fantastic footage. I don't know if there's any of Hector here posing. They're always in Europe taking some great footage of these bodybuilding shows. And when there's a German bodybuilder, they just go all out promoting him. And no, there's none of him. It's mostly Urs. They're like on the Urs bus at the moment.
Well, I mean, Urs is like their big champion right now.
So,
Yeah, that guy's impressive.
yeah, there's that. And there was something else I wanted to touch on. God, I forgot.
We wanted to talk a little bit about Urs, whether I know we're talking a lot about Urs, but
Yeah,
whether he's going to start. This was something that I kind of came up with. I was wondering what you thought about it. Now that, Urs moved from Classic to Open, um, even though Bumstead did do an Open show before he
yeah,
retired,
yeah,
he was a little bit of a different animal because he was tall, he was big, and like he would measure up to the open class a little bit more fairly because of his just outstanding size. And, he also was, you know, the classic Olympia for what, 6 years in a row, seven? I don't even
6 years,
know.
six.
6 years. So anyway, putting him aside, so I was wondering, do you think that Urs, by making this move to open and doing it so successfully. And then interestingly enough, the day after Urs won his first pro show, his first open show, Keon announces
Yeah, he's
he's going
going
to
open.
do the
Yeah,
open class.
yeah.
Do you think that he's going to start a revolution where a lot of these 212 guys and classic guys, more and more of them, and go, hey, look what Urs did. I don't want to diet down this far anymore. Let me do it too. Do you think it's going to happen?
I think more bodybuilders more classic guys are gonna move up because they're seeing his success. I mean, it's probably easier for them to diet instead of going to that. It's like, all right, we dieted it down. Now you have to lose another 10 pounds. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
there's that positive thing for them opening up to the open class. Plus, third, fourth place is probably more prize money than getting first in classic at a
very
number of
true.
events, right?
Very true.
And as well, they have that majestic posing and things like that, and even the way they pose and do their compulsories and things like that some open class bodybuilders are lacking. They're like reshaping the sport in a way that Lee Haney is saying we have to bring back, go back to our roots. It's like what Lee Haney said a few months ago uh, is actually happening now, you know, and I mean, the only difference is these guys have to gain a bit of weight to get into the open division. They can't go in looking as they do in the classic because they'll just
Oh,
be
no.
But like Keon, if he has to go to the Open, I don't think Keon has to do anything because his physique is already perfect as is, you know.
Yeah, Keon.
And
Keon
he's
is
shorter, and he has that
Keon's
muscle.
Keon's a different animal. He's a
Yeah.
different animal. But
So
you're right.
I think many more will move up. I think Mike probably if he wins this year, I wouldn't be surprised if next year he goes into the Open. You know, they just, you know,
Yeah, I think at the very least you could probably see some guys at least do their division and open to like and test the waters without completely committing. Like
ah, yeah.
Keon's going to do the open. He's not saying I'm open now.
No,
He's
he's
just
gonna
saying I'm
try
going to
it.
do an open show,
Yeah.
but he's still not going to necessarily jump out of the
Yeah.
212 division. He might want to stay there for another year or two, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we'll start to see more guys take a shot at
Yeah.
least.
Could be. Imagine now if he wins a show, Keon, and he qualifies for the Open. So he would have a choice. It's not that
I,
they're not going to let him cross over probably 212 in Olympia. I
I
don't see why
know.
they can't, but uh,
Imagine they would change the rules and let him do that. That'd be crazy.
I mean that would be cool, seeing him do the 212 and imagine,
Imagine he won both. It'd be insane.
750 or whatever, 900, who knows how much they're going to make it this year,
It would be
but
historic, but yeah, I mean, it would
900,000
be
and
interesting.
then he wins like 60 with the with
And
the
I honestly still, whatever open show he goes into, he's
no.
gonna be the favorite.
Listen, if he goes into a second tier pro show, he probably will win.
Even if there's a couple of tough guys in the show, he might win
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
people
saying. I'm not
believe that
saying
he'd be top five in the Olympia this
yeah.
year in the Open.
I'm not saying the New York Pro he's going to win or the Arnold Classic, but if he had to go into one of these other smaller shows or
Well,
in
he's gonna
Europe,
go to Prague,
yeah,
right? So that'll
Prague,
draw
yeah,
a few top guys,
yeah.
but
I mean,
not the top all.
if you put him next to Crisio, who's going to compete in Prague, listen, Keon has better flowing physique than I love Crisio. He's huge, all right. He has a fantastic physique, but when you look at them, straight,
If you
front, side, back,
individually, Keon's a better bodybuilder.
then that's when the judges will have a problem. That's
Yeah,
when Steve has to really, show judging what judging is. You know what I mean? It's like this week I saw him. There was Ramon doing that pose in front of him. Did you see
yeah.
that
And he was
clip?
like,
And
"Nope,
he's like, "Don't do it. It's for nothing. You're wasting time."
right? It doesn't look good on you. Don't do it."
Yeah, I mean, when I see him do it, it looks. I don't know who used to do that. Francis Benfado used to do that. He looked,
Francis Benfada would do it. Yeah,
yeah,
he looked
he
terrific
looked
in that pose.
amazing. Yeah, he looked
It's
amazing.
good. I mean, I think that maybe there's nothing wrong with doing that pose during your posing routine. I think he was
Yeah, but
thinking
not
maybe
during the,
don't do it in the
no,
mandatories. Go
no.
right into your shot.
Yeah, don't waste time. Do it. It's like,
And if Steve tells you to do something or not do
yeah,
something, you listen
yeah.
because
There's,
that's a man.
because I take photos at the local event and the Masters Pro in Malta when they do it here in the Mediterranean Championships. It's like, some you have to you obviously you take the whole lineup, regardless of who pays you, you take all of them because 99% the next day they're gonna send you a message. Did you take photos of me? It's like I
Yeah.
was there the whole day at registration. Anyways, um, you you say, okay, let me wait till they get into their pose. You have one guy still doing another pose before he gets into his, tricep pose. You have another guy going like, it's like, you know, and obviously the judges, you know,
They want to move along.
yeah, they want to move, and these guys, they don't even know how much time they're wasting. Even if they're paying a photographer, I don't know how much, they're like, you missed that shot, of course, because you were screwing around before you did just do the pose. And you have more time to do the pose. Let them look at you. Not like you're in a half transition or they're shaking their arms and waiting until looking at the other guy so they're the last one to do it. It's already too late. The judges looked at you, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Because I hear them talk. Everything's really fast. You
Yeah,
can't.
they don't have there's so many classes now, they don't have time to
Yeah,
waste to let people fool around in between
yeah.
poses. You have to get into the pose.
It's like when you see a bikini line about 30 girls. Like, what the hell,
Yeah. I mean it's at that point now where you can't
Yeah,
it used to make more sense when it was just a bodybuilding show
exactly.
and then the guys could do a little bit more funky stuff in
Yeah,
between. But when you're
yeah.
talking about where you have 4, 5, 6, 700 people at a show,
Yeah,
no,
no,
you can't dilly-dally. Get into your pose.
listen. when there's like the European Champions or the Worlds, there'll be close to 1,000 or over 1,000 athletes. It's over
Yeah.
4 or 5 days, right? So 9 in the morning till 11, 12 at night. Okay. So the judges are dead tired. The photographers are burnt out. All right. And these guys, you get these guys on stage, they just want to get you, they give you a good look. So those 10 seconds, you have to make sure you use it to the full. You can't stay playing around on this is not the Olympia stage where you have 4 minutes to do your thing. What is it, a 1 minute posing routine or 30 seconds? I think it's 1 minute. So
Most
yeah,
places, most in 1 minute.
you just have to, they have to learn to just do your thing and get out. It's nice to see you, do all these things, but the judges, hey, they don't have time. You know,
And they'll get angry about it.
they
They'll
don't
get
have
angry about
time.
it.
If in fact in Europe, even if your stance is wrong and if the floor manager tells you to fix a number of times, they'll penalize you. They'll penalize you.
Right.
Even like for example, I know we're going off track. The vacuum pose for classic. If you cannot do it, I've seen a judge tell them to try to do it 5 or 6 times. And if he can't do it, they'll tell him, sorry, you're not in this class, or we're going to place you last. They just, because, you're wasting time for the other guys. You're trying to suck in your gut. You can't do it, so, um, you know, I think, like we going back to Earth and stuff, they're going to change the way bodybuilding is today if more guys get in like him. Huh? Imagine Franklin, what's his name?
Logan.
Logan, which is a favorite to win as well
That's
this year.
another one who could go open.
Yeah. So imagine he goes open, he starts doing those majestic posing routines, you know?
Right. Well, then you're going to go back to you're going to go back to Lee Labrada posing, the Bob
Yeah.
Paris posing.
Yeah.
You're going to go back
Yeah.
to, and those guys will become a standout in their in. I don't know that whether it will win a show or not, but it will definitely make you a fan favorite. It'll definitely make
Yeah.
you probably get more guest posing
Yeah.
appearances,
Yeah. Well,
things like
listen,
that.
even though they're not given points, I think Bob said this. You think the judges don't notice if something's good? So even a good posing routine, they might say, listen, instead of two, I'm going to give him a one, you know?
Right. That's where it could come into play. You have two guys who look pretty much as good as each other. One guy poses like amazing. The other guy just walks around the stage and goes like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who's going to
So,
win?
so that can make a difference, huh?
It certainly can. It certainly
That
can make a difference.
that can make a big difference.
And
So
one of the things that Flex and I talked about yesterday when we were talking about the posing about Urs is he said he goes, most people when they go to contests, more amateur so than pro level, but usually the people go there to see only the person that's their friend, their
yeah,
relative, their brother, their sister, whatever. They don't care about anybody else. But when you have somebody who comes on stage
and does
and
that,
puts an amazing posing routine on,
you're gonna stay.
everybody watches it and everybody cheers for it, whether they know him or not. And
Exactly.
that's what you want to have. You don't want to have people going, "Oh, that's not my guy," so they're looking at their phone, they're getting up,
Yeah,
they're walking
yeah,
away. They
yeah,
want if somebody comes out there and just kills it,
yeah.
all eyes are on him or her,
So
and
yeah.
that's what we need.
So you imagine, they'll probably be begging for that. Urs picks out number 17. So he's like the last bodybuilder to come out, one of the last. Or I don't know if they work like that with the Olympias. If
I'm not
I
sure how
don't
they do
know,
that.
but anyways, imagine he comes out last or before the last or whatever. People, I guarantee you, they'll wait there until he comes out.
That they will. They want to see Urs, what is Urs going to do
Yeah,
this year?
and
It's kind of like when Vince Taylor or Melvin
yeah,
Anthony or
yeah,
King Kamali would pose, it'd be like, what are they going to do this year?
yeah. You
What
think,
is Lee Labrada going to do? I was always so excited to see Lee Labrada's
yeah,
routines because he always did such incredible routines,
yeah, but I
Even
mean,
Sean Ray, like his
yeah,
routines,
yeah,
Flex Wheel, his routines.
yeah.
I would be so excited to see Vince Taylor. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
So it's
I
it's
mean,
it's
look,
definitely good for the sport.
this year, Dan and Jake, they have the Nick Walker factor, they have Rubel, and they have Urs now. So, these guys, especially Urs, the light is on him. I mean, all right, there's Samson as Mr. Olympia, but listen, the build up to this Olympia is a bit different. You have Derek that won the Arnold and the Pittsburgh. He might go for the Grand Slam. And if he wins it
That's
for
a
the world,
story. That's a story in of itself.
that's a clean sweep. You have, Samson coming back from a loss, all right, at the Arnold. So the Mr. Olympia was defeated, okay, at another show. You have Nick's comeback after 2 years, and the last time he competed, he placed third. And now you have Rubel, who's a Mr. Freak, and now we have Urs. So there's so many different storylines at this
Right.
event.
And then you have three returning Mr. Olympias. You
Yeah,
have Potty
yeah.
Chupin, you have Derek, you have Brandon. Like, can they
And you
ever
have
can
Samson.
any of them
Yeah,
repeat?
yeah, four.
Samson repeating himself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's this is a very storied
Yeah, there's
Olympia
like
this year.
so many different things coming out. And this year I'm happy because instead of writing all the way, you're writing through the whole event. I'll be doing my hopefully maybe I was testing today before you came on. I was doing my own testing, just talking
You
to
do like a
myself.
live stream thing.
Yeah, and just making sure everything's working fine. And I hopefully I can, I'll do a live stream, just talking with the fans and stuff. A couple of screenshots. You don't want to break the rules, and disrespect
Of
them, because
course.
people are paying. It's not cheap, so um and some people are saying, the Olympia have to pay for it, the Arnold you don't, but listen, the Olympia has a budget that ups to here, and the even though Arnold is bumping up the prize money, he doesn't have to pump out all that money to get the athletes there. So, Jake is in a different level when it comes to spending money, to
Right.
get all
Which is
these.
why I think is they've made some changes in the rules for
Yeah,
qualifying,
yeah,
so on
yeah,
and so forth.
yeah. So, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be
Uh,
interesting. Got a few more weeks. We'll see what goes down.
yeah, you can see it's building up now. It's I mean, to be honest, I sent an email to Urs's business email, so I don't expect him to answer me. He's so busy at the moment. But who knows? Who knows? He might say, "Hey, well, come on for an hour." You
You
never
know.
know with these guys. You never know. And I wanted to touch on as well before we get into our friend Merlin. Um, I was watching Stefan on whose podcast was it? He was with Dennis James. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I watch all the podcasts religiously. I mean, I don't miss any of them. Uh, I don't think that's what I want to talk about. Sergio, he didn't do Europa. He skipped it. Meanwhile, he's running around in Milan enjoying himself. Good for
Yeah.
him. Um, and the way Stefan was talking, I don't think he's his coach anymore.
Oh, but Stefan was his coach for the last show, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that he fired him. I think that Sergio got rid of him.
Yeah, but I mean, all right, maybe he wouldn't have won in Europe, at the Europa, but what? Just compete. You're there. You're an hour away. I don't know what. Maybe he felt he didn't look happy in Milan, or where in the Italian show, when he plays fourth or fifth. So I don't know what happened with him and Stefan. I mean, Stefan has a great track record with a lot of bodybuilders, but maybe they didn't click. Maybe he should go back to Chris Aceto because he used to do really well with him. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, it's not me to,
I mean, the whole coach thing is a whole different.
yeah,
As a coach myself, I have very, very strong opinions on all that stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's for another show. I mean,
But
Sergio's got
it's
to
a
make his
shame
own
because I
decisions.
really
He's an
want to see
adult.
Sergio on the Olympia stage. You know?
I mean, going back to Sergio, I love Sergio. He's got an amazing physique. He worked very, very hard this year. He came into the show. He looked great, but he got fourth, and I know he was disappointed with that for sure. I think he
Yeah.
was. I mean, he was definitely going there to win, and to be beaten to be beaten by a guy who just switched from classic
Yeah.
to open in the first show. It's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah. And
And
Sergio's
also,
getting,
maybe he would have felt better if he placed second or
yeah.
like was,
Listen, he's
but
getting he's getting
I
beat.
would have. He's getting beat by guys that never would have beaten him years ago.
Younger guys. So
Yeah,
could it be age? I don't know. 43, what is he? 43, 44?
I think he's early 40s, which he has aged, but at the same time, a lot of guys were still at their peak in their early 40s.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that, but I see him before shows and when he's walking, like I saw him in the Dragon's Lair several times, and he looks like a beast. He looks like no, he's going to kill everybody, and then
Yeah.
you see him on stage and he still looks great, but like you feel like, did he look better a little bit before the show? Which maybe is what his issue is. Maybe he feels like he didn't peak right. But as far as doing the other show, I think he should have stepped on stage
Yeah.
one more time a week later,
Yeah.
and given it another shot, maybe, change his peaking process or whatever, and seeing if he's still, because you have to have confidence in yourself that maybe you
Yeah.
can climb over these guys.
I mean,
And he should have done it,
yeah. I mean,
but
I know.
Sergio's a different,
Yeah.
Sergio's got a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah,
And
I know. But like this week, I mean, Dave was saying, all right, maybe he can't reach the level of his father, right? It's Mr. Olympia and all this stuff. But we have to remember as well, respect to all of them, Arnold and him and Sergio Sr. They used to compete between two guys. Arnold won an Olympia on his own once, you
yeah,
know.
well, different era. Yeah, different.
Different era. There wasn't that competition. All right. So
Right.
Sergio shouldn't feel bad for himself because he's not emulating his father. His father was a totally different era. Okay. Now, what Dave was saying, if he went to the Masters Olympia and won that easily, he would have had a Masters Olympia title, but maybe he didn't want to be associated winning with older men. Could it be that as well? You know, he wants to
I think
win.
that I still think that he believes that he's too good to go
Too
to the
good
Masters, that
to go there. Yeah.
he's still capable of winning open
Yeah.
shows, so that
Yeah. He
he's
has
not
that
ready for that yet.
mentality. Yeah. Like I remember Branch Warren said once, he doesn't want to qualify for the Olympia with points. He has to win a show.
Right.
He doesn't want things handed to him. You know, he
There
wants
are
to work.
certain people
Yeah. Yeah.
like Brandon. Brandon could go walk into the Masters Olympia and win without hitting a
Yeah.
pose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he still believes in himself. Hey, I'm still placing in the
Yeah.
top five at the Olympia. Why should I do that? And I'm sure
Yeah.
Sergio, even though he's not Brandon,
Yeah.
probably still feels that that's what he wants to do. He wants to get back into the Open Olympia.
Yeah. I wish
But
he, gets it together somehow with a new coach or, listen, there are a lot of great coaches out there. I mean, you're one of them.
I'll take him on.
I mean, some
Come to me,
coaches,
Sergio.
but, there's coaches like you that are not always in the limelight, like others. Others are like
Right.
superstars. But sometimes these five guys, they're either too busy to focus on a guy, you know, and uh, and they need somebody that really can stay around them a bit more. Now you'll get guys like, Sean Ray, whatever, say you don't need a coach, you can do everything on your own. All right, maybe you can.
It's
But
these
back
days it's
then, back then they used to go to Gold's Gym and you have 30 guys criticizing you and telling you what to do. So that's like coaching anyways, you know. You have like, Charles Glass running around, say, try that, try that, try that, do this, So it was different, Today there's so many things going on that the athlete has to sometimes concentrate on other things. And at least they know that there's somebody watching their back. That's the way I see it, you know. They can maybe instead of worrying about how they're going to do their diet and things, they might have somebody else analyzing them, and then they can concentrate maybe on their brand a bit or social media, and then they get the phone call for their coach or whatever, how it works, send me some photos, let's talk tonight, do me some posing, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know how it works better than me. So
Yeah,
um
well, I think that it's very hard to self-coach for a lot of people
yeah,
because
yeah,
most people don't see themselves as they really are. They
exactly.
either see themselves as way below what they really
Yeah,
are or way above what they really are.
yeah,
So they're not, but when you have an expert, not just anyone, not just friends,
yeah,
but that expert second eye looking at you and really breaking you down, especially if the coach, like myself, I never blow smoke up people's ass and say, you look great. No, if there's something going wrong, I need to fix it. That's my job. If you're not peaking on time or whatever it is.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you need that these days. And I think that it's very, very hard for most people to self-coach.
yeah,
Did Sean Ray do it? Yes, he did it, but he's one in a million. Because if
yeah,
you look at every single elite sport, every single one, everybody has a coach.
yeah,
Tennis, baseball, football, soccer, everybody has coaches, sometimes multiple coaches. And it's the same thing with bodybuilding, which you know, and now it's been going back
Yeah,
25
listen,
or 30 years.
some of these guys just need somebody to pick up the phone and talk to, you know?
Sometimes you just need accountability. Sometimes you need a therapist, which I'm very good at. That's my degree in psychology. I'm good at talking to people and helping them through the rough times. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely strongly believe in coaching for a good coach, but I also believe that you need to give a coach more than one show to
Yeah,
learn your body, learn everything, because you sometimes you things that worked last year or 2 years ago do not work this year.
listen, I think Sergio, I mean, I'm not here to tell him what to do, but I think Sergio should now, shut it down. He obviously did. Shut it down, eat some good food, and, get back in it and try, hopefully, maybe the Arnold, or the New York Pro. In the beginning of the year, the Pittsburgh, try those shows, see what
He should
happens.
do multiple qualifiers. He should
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just go for one show. He should
Yeah,
get
so
on
if he
stage and
places
do it a bunch of times.
third or fourth at New York, or he won the New York once already, but if he was third or second, he'll say, "Listen, I'm here this year. It might be my year." So then he goes to Texas or something and wins, and that's it. He's in the Olympia. Shut it down
And as long
again.
right, and or he could do it on points now because
Yeah,
the
on
point system
points.
is part of it. And
Yeah, yeah,
he's a bodybuilder that's always going to be in the fight for a title.
yeah.
He's not
So
going to ever place seventh, eighth, ninth. He's always going
no,
to
no,
be
no.
fourth, third, second,
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
could go in on points. So, but I would encourage Sergio to get on, not just target one show,
No, no.
compete several
Yeah,
times, earn your points, fix your peaking process, get it down pat, whether it's with a coach or whatever.
yeah. It is what it
And
is.
he'll get to the stage. He's still good enough
Yeah,
for
some
sure.
guys will have the goal to win the Olympia and others to get there. He just needs to get on that bloody stage. So,
I think that's what he wants. I think he just wants to be back on that Olympia
yeah,
stage. He's
yeah,
Sergio Oliva
yeah.
Jr.
And
You
hopefully we
know,
can see Hunter again as well. Get back on the.
Hunter too. Yeah, Hunt. Obviously, I don't know what was with Hunter this year. I don't know if it was a health thing or
Yeah.
whatever, but I suspect it might be a health thing that he's taking time off. But Hunter will get back there too if he's, as long as he's not taking more time off.
So, Merlin, we talked about something before the show.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
get him
must
up.
know what has to happen because if I don't allow him on camera,
Yeah.
he'll put a spell on me, and
Cease
then
and
I won't be
desist.
able to
What do
speak.
you call it? Cease and desist letter. There he is.
Doing a front double bicep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, Merlin. There you go. You're on
There
there.
you-
Okay. He can go to the side now. He's the strong silent type.
Yeah.
So yes, we were discussing something.
Yeah, related to Earth. This is the Earth show,
The Urs show, yeah. But it's a
um,
question a lot of people have been
yeah.
asking. A lot.
How, I don't know if I'm gonna say it right. So you get a classic guy and he gains all that weight to go to the open. How is it possible? I mean, not how is it possible? Is it genetics? Is his body starving? Is he dieting down so much for the classic physique,
Yeah, people
criteria?
just looking at him going, how the hell did he go from
Yeah,
last year looking
yeah,
like that to looking like this? He looks like he ate himself.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know. So I mean, I'm gonna give you an answer as my perspective of what I think is going on here, not because I know inside information about Urs,
Yeah.
because I don't. But my opinion is what is going on here, where he made this what looks to be. I mean, yes, it was a tremendous transformation, but what may not be as a tremendous transformation as people think. I think the number one, a lot of people, the first thing that they jump to, because this is the way the world is he had to have doubled his drugs or
Yeah,
tripled his drugs and he's taking crazy stuff.
yeah,
Is it possible that he's using more anabolics because he doesn't have a weight class limit? Yes, it's certainly possible
yeah,
that he has to limit himself size wise.
yeah,
So maybe he's using more. I don't know.
exactly.
That is my opinion that it's possible, but I don't know. I think what is going on most of all is sort of what we touched on before. This is the biggest factor that he is no longer dieting himself down the way he did before. In other words, I'll go to the example of Flex Lewis, who many times has said, and he said to me personally, I had a diet down to the 212 division, but I was already shredded and in shape and ready to get on stage when I was 15, 20 pounds heavier,
That's it.
which was why he was going to finally go to the open
Yeah,
because he felt like he was not dieting off any more body fat. He was literally dieting off muscle.
Mhm.
And not only was the process so difficult and arduous and torturous to get, but also he was getting rid of that, muscle that he had built. I mean, obviously you want to get rid of fat and water, you don't want to get rid of muscle, but he literally had to go
Yeah.
so high in his cardio and so low in calories that he ended up losing a lot of muscle. And I think that's what Urs was doing and I think a lot of guys do it. I think Ramon probably does it because I've seen him off season. He's huge. I'm sure that Mike does it too now for Classic because he's a beast. But I think that what Urs really did is he finally said, you know what, I'm not going to diet off this muscle anymore. I'm going to keep the muscle, and he
Refine it.
pretty much was ready
Yeah.
to be an open bodybuilder, and he was holding on to tissue that he was not holding on before because he didn't diet it away. So I think that what looks like, oh my God, like he added 35 pounds of new muscle. I doubt it. He probably added about 10 pounds of new muscle,
Yeah.
but he just held on to another 20 pounds that he
Yeah.
could have held on the year before. But because even if you look at him, I remember looking at him at the Olympia in 24 and saying, he looks depleted.
Yeah. Yeah. He
He
looks,
didn't look right.
yeah.
And it looked to me like a depleted bodybuilder who over dieted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that it was a matter of the over dieting was just built in to get down to that weight. And it
Exactly.
probably he just couldn't really recover even with
Yeah.
a carb load, whatever it is that he tried to do after weighing in. His
He
body
always
was
looked,
already too
yeah.
depleted.
He always looked weaker, just too much. It's like this guy needs to eat when you see him.
Yeah,
He
and
needs,
I'll tell you another thing about Ramon, because Ramon a lot of times comes from Brazil to train at the Dragon's Lair or train in Vegas
yeah.
leading up to the Olympia. And I would see him 2 weeks before, and he would look full and massive and vascular and just like crazy, like he was ready to step on stage. And then when I see him on stage at the Olympia, regardless of the fact that he has an amazing physique and he's incredible on stage, he looks like he drops 15,
Yeah.
20 pounds of mass. Like he looks
This is Urs
sucked down.
Yeah. Yeah. This is him last
And
year.
yeah, one thing I'm glad about Urs is they got rid of that haircut, but because that was just like terrible.
Look at
See,
his
now you see
back.
how defined his back is there? He needs
Yeah.
to bring that definition
Yeah.
to his back
He
now.
has to bring that back. Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
to bring that back. That's what he's missing.
Either,
But
add more muscle, but he's all marketing, you know what I mean? So,
but
look at that,
he
you
did
know.
not to just solidify my point. It's not because he added in some crazy drugs or
No,
he
no,
tripled
no.
his protocol. It's because he's already much bigger in the off season and he just didn't diet away all that muscle because he knew he didn't have to. And I think that's the biggest factor.
Yeah.
And I think that's happening to a lot of guys, which is I think that's why I think Urs is going to cause a lot of these classic guys who are sick of dieting away muscle, and maybe even
Yeah.
some 212 guys who are
Listen,
sick of dieting away muscle.
it's not
And
healthy. It's not healthy
no,
either.
I mean, and I'll even say about Keon, who I think who really may be the best bodybuilder on the planet right now, just pound for pound the best. When I saw what he looked like when I asked him, "How much do you weigh?" and he said, "Oh, I'm like 235."
Yeah.
He did not look very far off from stepping on stage. He looked to
Yeah.
me, and Flex Wheeler said it to me yesterday. He goes, he looked like he could take a diuretic and walk on stage at that
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
So even though he's going to walk on stage at 212 and looking ridiculous, he
Yeah.
probably can weigh 225 and walk on stage ridiculous. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that's the biggest factor, and I think that people need to get it out of their head that he just did some new crazy
No.
drug protocol because I think it's
Listen,
all about the
it's
change of
genetics.
diet.
It could be genetics as well. So,
Well, genetics, he has the genetics to hold more muscle. He didn't have to diet off that muscle. He has the genetics to be in shape 20, 30 pounds heavier.
yeah.
So I think that's what the transformation really is,
Yeah.
was just simply saying I don't have to deplete myself that way anymore. And
So
I think that he's still going to gain a lot of as the years go by, because he's still in his 20s. What is he, maybe 25,
27, I think. He's not,
27?
yes, he's
When
released.
this guy starts hitting his early 30s, mid 30s, if he's still going and
Yeah.
strong, and he holds those still basic lines, but with more muscle and more refinement,
Yeah.
he's going to eventually become a very difficult person to defeat.
Yeah. He has that, even that German, mentality, he's really laser focus on everything, and he has a great character, joking around, so
He's great for the sport. He's just a great.
he's there.
He's going to be great with the fans. He's just a very good
There were magazines
ambassador.
today, he would be splashed all over the place, you know,
Yeah.
all over the front pages and
I know our very own Jay Cutler here in Las Vegas loves Urs.
yeah, yeah.
He loves Urs. He's a big fan of Urs. And
Yeah, so
but
he'll probably be at the Arnold next year, Pittsburgh. He's gonna have a good, successful next
yeah. But
2026.
I think he needs to, he's going to do the Olympia wherever he places.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I think he needs to really get into a good off season
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
really focus on bringing up certain body parts because his potential is incredible.
yeah,
And I'm sure he's hungry for it. So
yeah.
he's just getting started. I mean, he's really just getting started now.
Has a good rest, then gets back on track.
Yeah, he'll get back on track and he'll get back with his team and he'll do what he needs to do for next year. But I think the best thing about it, the coolest thing about it is that I really truly believe he's started a revolution where you're going to
Yeah,
start to
yeah.
see
We're
some
gonna
of these really amazing physiques from the 212 and the classic, especially classic, move up to open
yeah.
and all of a sudden it's going to become a different division because it's going
I
to have
don't
the mass monsters and it's
yeah.
going to have these classic physiques.
I don't think I think the days are over for a guy winning 7 2-1-2s or six classic physiques. They're gonna win a couple, say I won it, and they're gonna move up to the open.
Yeah, unless Keon stays in 212, he can win 20 in a row if he
Yeah,
could.
no,
But
I think
he's
this
not good.
maybe he wants to beat Flex, but
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to because I think he's
he'll
gonna be
outgrow
get
it. Yeah,
too.
yeah,
He trains too hard and with too much intention. He'll
yeah,
be 250 next off season.
yeah.
He's not gonna be
So
able to do
we
it.
can't see him moving up, to the
But Keon is he's like to me
yeah,
for me anyway on another like
yeah,
he might be literally the best in the world today.
yeah.
So,
So we have to see what happens. So
but it's interesting. It's making it very interesting.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, I don't have any, I mean, I can't talk forever, but I don't really have anything else to talk about today.
Well, I think I mean, that was
We're,
pretty much the question that everybody's been
yeah,
asking, so I answered that one. And
yeah.
if anybody
I
else
mean,
has more questions, you just
you
send
know,
them in to me, send them in
yeah.
to Kevin,
hmm
and we'll have more for you.
Subscribe to the channel, I'll be posting, parts of this video, this podcast, so people can watch and focus on certain parts as usual. And we're almost at episode 20, episode 18 next week.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get another guest. We have to see. Everybody's really busy now, so you know,
yeah,
uh,
we're talking to different people. I
we're
asked Flex
talking. We're
yesterday.
trying to get them on. So I can understand that they have their obligations with other things, or
Well,
um,
we're going to be around for a while, so there's going to be plenty of guests.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if there's no guest, you just have these two old farts talking about bodybuilding.
We're each well over 100 years old, and we've been
Yeah,
around.
yeah. So I'll be trying to go to more contests in the next year and stuff abroad. I love amateur. I love the amateur IFBB. So I love seeing these young stars. It's like when you see them in the pro ranks. Sometimes they switch over to the MPC and stuff. It's like I remember seeing that guy, nervous stepping on stage for the first time. It's it's like Andreas, the Italian guy. You know which one, Andreas?
Yeah. Mhm.
He won his pro card in Malta. I watched him get on stage and win his
Oh,
pro
well,
card. It was with 2016 or 17. That year he won three or four, but he won one of them in Malta, and he was still lean, that amateur look, and then he disappeared for a couple of years, and bang, you see this monster. I mean, it's like you see there's two parts to their career. It's like Hadi Chupan. When you see pictures of him at the World Championships, he's like this little ripped guy, totally ripped, just
shredded.
five
Now he's
times,
a giant rip guy.
yeah, five times smaller. So it's fun. It's fun. So and they love it when you speak to them. Different cultures. I love the different cultures. It's like there's no politics, no wars, nothing. You just talk, have fun, eat together, talk about the sport. That's the fun thing of going to these international events. People from every country, you know, uh, Um, and the last weekend there was the big fight with Canelo. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh, I watched all the fights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched all of it. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I watched them, all the way to the end.
There
And
was the Canelo fight was great, and Crawford definitely beat him.
yeah,
He,
it was. Uh,
he
I love
outboxed him.
I love boxing. So people know it was a real technical, fair battle between two guys, and Canelo was going in for those hard punches, trying to get that one punch. But Crawford, did the moves, a little bit of Mayweather and countered, and I think
He fought
he
a
studied
beautiful
him.
fight.
He lost with Mayweather. So when I think Canelo, when he has these fast punchers, it kind of puts him off. And if he can't push you in a corner, he's that's his weak point. So
And Crawford was able to take some of his
of
punches that
course,
I don't think that Canelo was expecting him to be able to
yeah, and I
take.
liked it when he punched him. Canelo would look back at him like this, it's like,
Yeah,
all
like
right,
man, he's hitting
yeah,
harder than I thought.
yeah,
So the muscle that he put on to get up to that weight
yeah,
class served him well.
yeah, and what I really appreciate is what a gentleman Canelo was, you know.
He was the speech after the fight talking
Yeah,
about he
yeah.
really was such a gentleman, and that is
Listen,
he knew he was beat, and he said, "I love being
yeah.
able to fight
Listen,
such
he
great
put it
fighters."
all on the line. Some boxers are scared of that. He put it all on the line. I'm here to fight. And he lost. And even that moment where he gave him all the belts to take a photo with them, then after you see him coming back and giving him back to him with in front of his wife, because those are his belts. So now
Right,
they have to make a set for him. So,
right.
but he let him take photos with them and everything, enjoy
He's a,
it.
he's a
you
gentleman.
know, Listen, he still has two more fights. I think he's under contract with some company for two more fights. So he has to keep on training, huh? He can't
Yeah.
just retire yet.
Oh, he's
So,
not done. He's not done.
oh no, no, he's younger than him.
Yeah,
Canelo's younger than Crawford.
yeah. Crawford's like 38.
Yeah, I think Crawford should retire now.
He could retire
Undisputed,
right now and just be done.
yeah,
He's
undisputed, and he's with the best of the best.
unless the money makers
Oh
say
no,
we will give you this incredible purse to fight a second
yeah,
time, which you know
listen,
they're going to ask.
I think
You know they
Canelo
want to
got
see it.
a bit over 100 million, and he got just 50. I mean, he
Just
got
fit. No,
50.
I don't know how he's going to live on that, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And there was that another special moment where they were talking about kids at an interview. And the thing is, they would be together at all the interviews, having fun, talking and joking. It's just, and then they go in the ring to beat the shit out of each other, But
And you know what? I think there was even one time where Canelo headbutted him by mistake.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
literally apologized to him
yeah.
in
And
the
and
ring.
and the thing is, Canelo didn't play dirty. He didn't go for that.
No, no, no. It was a
Not
mistake, and he
one
was like, "I'm
punch.
sorry."
Yeah, not one punch. Another guy would have kept punching him there, punching and
No,
punching,
he was
and he was
a
worried,
real.
Crawford. He was like, God, I'm gonna lose the fight now. It's like, but there was a moment. The guy asked, Canelo, he said, how many kids do you have? He said, four. And Canelo said, no, three. And the other guy said, I have seven. And he looks at him, seven kids?
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
anybody who's a parent who has like three and then somebody else has more than double, you're like, I
yeah,
don't know how you can do
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
did you see the fight? Did you see all the fights or just that fight?
I watched all the fights, but to be honest, I was like,
Half
half
in, half
dead, but
out.
I watched them all. Which one?
The fight between, I can't remember. I think the guy's name was Martinez, and there was it was like two fights before that
Okay,
was an
I saw.
absolute war.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The lightweights, eh?
I
Or
guess so.
super bantam
I
or
wish I
something.
could
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. The
Um,
lighter they are, the more
it was like
punches.
Murillo
Yeah,
or something, but
yeah,
and and it ended up to be a split decision,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the champion retained his title. But that fight,
yeah, yeah,
these two went at it
yeah,
every second of every round from the opening
yeah,
bell. I
yeah,
was looking at these guys like, man, and every time one would hit each other, one would punch each other in the face, combinations, the other one came right back,
yeah,
combination,
yeah.
combination, combination. I was like, these guys are warriors, man.
Yeah, people tell me, did you watch the main event? No, like tell them, yeah, I watched the main event, but always watch the ones before. Because like if
Yeah,
it's
we'll
a
go
if
before.
it's a heavyweight fight, it's gonna be slow. That's why I wanted to watch this one of Canelo because it's a bit faster but the lightweight guys and the bantamweights, those guys are just animals,
And that fight and the whole thing took place 30 minutes for me. Legion
and you,
Stadium was only 30 minutes down the
and you
road from
didn't
me.
go. You couldn't get tickets.
I probably could never get tickets. I would never be able to never get tickets. Plus, also, it was insane there. But there was so many celebrities for that fight. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm perfectly fine watching it on my TV.
Yeah, I
I'm good.
watched it. I watched it. I was in Spain. I still watched it. So, it
But
was great. It was great.
great fights. But
I love it. I love
anyway,
it. Anyways, that's it
fun
for
stuff.
today. And we'll be back next week,
As always,
God
we'll be
willing.
back next
And
week. Oh, last thing, let me just say real quickly, I'm always wearing Gasp. I'm a Gasp athlete, and I'm always wearing Gasp stuff. Right now, I think through the end of today, September 17th, if you use the code Olympia30, there's 30% off on all items except for brand new releases. So if you want, go over to
great.
Gasp and get yourself some Gasp clothing. I wear it every single day. I'm been with them for 7 years. Such a fantastic company.
So, support the brand, and, these things help out, obviously,
Yep.
and hopefully, we'll get some sponsors on this for this show, and everything comes slowly, Rome wasn't built in a day, so, we'll see.
Yep.
Anyways, that's it for now, and
All right, my friend.
we'll see you next week.
See you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, bye.